C-Ball.
C-Ball!
Welcome to C-Ball Live. We're here with Thabiti Boone. He's definitely a man that is in the community. He's connected with the Obama administration, New York Knicks. He's a man that we definitely want to bring together in the C-Ball circle. We're sitting down with him now. We're at the Peace Games, and I want to know what brings you here to the Peace Games, Isaiah Thomas and everything.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, my brother, for seeing you again, and thank you for all the great work that you're doing through C-Ball and your activism and the work that you're doing just to uplift, not just the community of the Bronx, but just the entire community of New York City. What brought me here today is, of course, this is NBA All-Star Weekend. A lot of stuff is going on, within the NBA around, the activities, but there's also a lot of great community programs that are going on around the city as well. So we just been so thankful that, Isaiah Thomas, one of our greatest players and legends, who thought enough to come back to New York City with his program, called the Peace Games Initiative. And so Isaiah Thomas and I are good friends through the NBA, and I work with the league. And so he asked me if I would just come down and, here to Manhattan at the PAL just to support him and what he's doing. And so me being from New York City, growing up in Brooklyn, I'm a former ball player. Okay. Was a good ball player growing up, all city, point guard. And so, so basketball has been something very dear to me. And I tell you very specifically, the fact that he's having his peace games or working with young men that society kind of have forgotten about. Young men who kind of, on the street corners, young men who kind of, have some challenges around schools and their education, but young men that have so much potential and so many opportunities, and so who need a chance just to connect with who they are and through basketball. And so I can identify with that. Growing up in East New York and Brownsville, so basketball was that hook. So I was one of those young men that's participating with this activity today that could have fell into that category. So, because of Isaiah and who he is, me being from New York City, All-Star Weekend, knowing that basketball is positive in so many ways, other than just being, a sport of entertainment, but it's a way to kind of bring people together, especially brothers and young men. Yes. And so I just thought that this is the place I should be during All-Star Weekend to support Isaiah Thomas and again, just support my city of New York City and anything that's around uplifting young men. And you mentioned, and I'm sorry for just going over, but you mentioned that I work with the president. The president is not only the president of the United States, but he's a ball player. He's a father.
And we need to bring him to New York so he can play in our elected official game. So maybe, Mr. Boone here can make that happen for us. Go ahead.
So the president, my role with the president is as a representative of his Fatherhood Mentoring Initiative out of the White House. And that's a program that he started because he believed that fatherhood is very important. Fathers play a very critical role in the lives of our children, our families, our communities, and we just can't do anything around the development of our children without having the role of our fathers. And we recognize that fathers need support, fathers need opportunities, fathers need somebody to just, help them just to be the best dads that can be. And including, I'm quite sure with this event, as well as keeping the peace, these guys involved in gangs. But I guarantee you, a lot of these guys are dads, a lot of these guys are fathers. Yes. So again, this is something that I'm sure the president and administration would support, this kind of effort. And then also, the president has the My Brother's Keeper initiative, which is another piece to his fatherhood initiative, where he really puts a focus on how do we advance opportunities for our young men of color, particularly our African-American young men who just need a push you know, in terms of career opportunities, educational opportunities, and just knowing that there's a place for them in this society. And so I play that role. I've been with the New York Knicks for the last 15 years. I worked in the community relations department around just the brand of the team that's really about service in the community. And to the surprise of a lot of people, the NBA, teams like the New York Knicks, you know, believe in the community, believe in social responsibility, believing in giving back to support and uplift the community. So I've just been very happy to take my love of the game of basketball to transition into how do we use sport and basketball as an opportunity just to change and make a difference in people's lives, and just make people aware that our young men and fathers definitely need that support.
We say at C-Ball, we are the league that brings everyone together. We also the league that, or the organization that saves lives, and we're doing it through basketball. Not only basketball, but like y'all know, we're venturing off into 4 new sports this year, and definitely, I love the great work you're doing. I know the great work we're doing, and together I hope that we can make something happen this year, 2015.